This is gonna be the only pussy poppin' around here. What's up everyone, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John and it's time for another episode of Rap Gone Wrong, Iggy Azalea edition. Iggy Too Biggie is an Australian rapper, also American I suppose because she's lived in America for a good amount of time, which apparently excuses the fact that she doesn't rap with an Australian inflection at all. Instead, she uses the whole southern kind of black woman stereotype rap, which I've still never fully gotten over, that we've just accepted that and moved on. But anyways, here we are at In My Defense, her first record since 2014. The new classic dropped, and since then she's been embroiled in a lot of legal battles, a lot of label trouble, a lot of switching around, lack of promotion for singles and albums, and she dropped the Survive the Summer EP in 2018. It was one of the most egregious, god-awful things that I heard in all of 2018, alongside the singles like Cream featuring Tyga. It's pretty apparent that Iggy is just so comfortable staying in one awful lane, and people around her could easily advise and be like, you know, if you just got in the car and maybe pulled the wheel a little bit this way and got in that lane, or maybe if you just like merged into this or tried this, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But instead, Iggy proceeds to get in the car every single time on In My Defense and just run it off a cliff. Before we go any further, I'll start with a little bit of empathizing for Iggy because I can understand that it is absolutely no fun to get dicked around by the music industry. Nobody deserves that, no matter how much I might dislike you as an artist and what you put out in the world. I think it's kind of a tricky situation, and I'm starting to understand a whole lot more about that, how people kind of have their hand forced into not owning their own master recordings. I'm happy that Iggy actually owns her stuff again, but she does kind of flex on us a lot about that on this record, In My Defense. And to me, after listening to this album all the way through 3 times, flexing on me about owning these master recordings like it's something to be proud of is the equivalent of flexing on someone about owning a roll of great value Walmart toilet paper. It's like, okay, fucking fantastic. I'm sorry, but it took you 5 years to crank out this bullshit? I listened to this album and I hear something that feels like it was prepared in about a 2-week span of time, if that. I think the majority of the time was probably devoted to the production side of things, because that's really the most tolerable thing about the album, at least in some places. For the most part, this sounds like a homogenized record that features the same slow dripping bass, occasional synth, leaning into like 90s hip-hop occasionally, like the single Sally Walker does. But for the most part, we get to sit here and listen to Iggy Azalea just nonchalantly rattle off constantly about her haters, about things that have happened years ago that she apparently can't let go of, and that they matter to her so little, yet so much that she dedicates the majority of the album to clapping back to them. And honestly, that is the biggest problem right there. There is no variety, and when there is variety from that, it switches lanes into Iggy's sex life, which she describes in excruciating detail. And I feel like Iggy Azalea is the type of person that would respond to me and say, oh, you're questioning me, opening up about my sexuality? I can't be a sexual person? Are you trying to oppress me? And I'm like, no, but maybe please don't tell me about how you want to squirt all over this dude's face and ride the dick with your tongue out like Jordan and all these other things. Believe it or not, I have absolutely no problem with sexually charged lyrics, but for God's sake, could we get 1 grain of salt, 1 grain of subtlety on this entire record? Everything is laced with just straight up whatever. It's like trying to really slip something into somebody's drink, like, you didn't know that I put that nasty little thing in there, did you? Haha, gotcha, pranked you, lunch prank. But no, it's like, I saw you drop this big cheeseburger into my cup of water. Obviously, I'm aware. We're gonna dive even deeper into the atrocious lyrical side of this record because oh boy, it was really easy to pick out one worst lyric from every single song. In fact, it wasn't that easy because there were multiple that would have qualified for every single song. Repetition runs these tracks into the ground, and no, Iggy Azalea is not the only rapper or artist out there using repetition. But I don't need to hear you say pussy pop or something else to that effect about 100 times in one damn song, because it's just mind-numbing. It becomes noise to me at some point. I'm sitting here trying to take it in, and I just kind of zone out, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Because I tried listening to this in multiple settings. I tried at home, I tried in the car, and I tried at the gym, and it didn't motivate me to do anything other than throw my phone on the ground and say, please stop. The most interesting part of this album is probably its production, at least occasionally. Almost every single song sounds the same, but Jay White did it hits with some decent beats, especially on the singles Started and Sally Walker. The latter of those does lean into 90s hip-hop, and I like the fact that it kind of uses the children's nursery rhymes, Sally Walker, and everything like that. It plays into a considerably good hook, and I also like Started. Once it rolls around, it's very catchy. The production is snappy, and there's something to it. But she put those two songs out first, and then what's left for the rest of the record? Well, we got the main course, and now we're over here trying to get by on the Dollar Tree samples that nobody wanted that expired about 3 months ago. As I attempted to sift through all of this wreckage to find something, I think one thing came to mind, and I'm like, Iggy is trying to handle too many things herself because her personality, it's not exactly carrying things as she talks about shopping, spending money, and doing things sexually like it's a personality trait, which it's not at all. And I found myself wishing, okay, could we get some more guest features here? Like maybe could we switch things up for something, like occasionally at least?
Pop it just like soda, whip it like Yola. Got a bitch named Dakota, she kinda older. Got me hard like a boulder getting.
Oh boy, I spoke way too soon. Actually, keep the guest features. Keep the guest features. We get a track called Ho Mita featuring Lil Yachty, which is, oh boy, I don't even know where to begin. Believe it or not, Fuck It Up featuring Cash Doll is not a Pure Flames gold flamethrower. Instead, it just has two artists mimicking each other, with Cash Doll being almost indistinguishable from Iggy Azalea. The rapping here basically says fuck it up a whole lot, and it's another one of those repetitive songs that's just like Spend It, or Homita, or Freak of the Week, which features Juicy J. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've heard him rear his head, and I haven't covered one of his projects or something that he's been on in quite some time, but the former 3-6 Mafia member turns in a verse that could only be described as the epitome of the cliche of rap music. It just talks about how his Tuesday girl wants to have sex with him today, and he wants to have his Friday bitch over on Thursday because they can't wait to get a little bit of that Juicy J dick. I mean, I looked at your Wikipedia page, man. You're 44, pushing 50 over here, and you're telling me the ladies are lining up? You know what? No more chitter chatter. I want to get down to it. I want to get to the worst lyric from every song on this album in my defense. Starting with the opening track, Thanks I Get. Pockets pregnant. Everybody asking me my due date. First of all, this entire song is about Iggy basically saying that she paved the way for a bunch of people to really come into the rap game, not even having any sense of self-awareness that she really just rode in on the wave of other people stealing the Southern affectation and style. I mean, I'm still not over it, like I said, but then this lyric in particular. Pockets pregnant, everybody asking me my due date. Jesus Christ. Bad bitch got a bag and her body's stacked like flapjacks. Yes, you do stack flapjacks like pancakes. You would stack them up if you're maybe taking them off the griddle there. But I don't know if that's a positive thing, like she's intending it to be, like describing somebody's body like a flapjack. I mean, what, do they look like a UFO, like they got the rings of Saturn floating around them? You would think it's getting evicted, how my booty moving. Better yet, I need a U-Haul. Here it seems Iggy is implying that her ass is twerking so hard that she needs a U-Haul because everybody thinks that she's moving. Get it? Because U-Haul trucks help people move, and that's what people rent when they want to move. Been on my shit, about to twerk on this dick with my tongue out like Jordan. Take it, Iggy. You need it more than I do. You know my temper is way shorter than a Vine, okay? Number 1, outdated reference. Vine has been dead since 2017. Number 2, your temper is shorter than 6 seconds? It sounds like you might need some professional help if you're flying off the rails every time somebody says something to you and it takes you less than 6 seconds to get heated? Far from broke, and I'm so dope. I hope that I don't get indicted. See, it took me a second to understand the sheer genius of a line like this. Far from broke, and I'm so dope, I hope that I don't get indicted. She's saying because she's so dope that she's like a drug, and she's hoping that she doesn't get busted when she's flying on one of her many international trips on her successful tours. Oh wait, all of the tours get canceled! I grab his dick, I told him don't say shit, he liked my last flick. I'm really trying to piece this together in a way that doesn't sound really creepy or borderline super inappropriate or too sexually charged. I grab his dick, okay, maybe without consent, I'm not sure. I told him don't say shit, well that sounds like a threat, and then he liked my last flick. So, did you catch this guy watching a sex tape of yours or something? You sent him a video, so then you grab his dick and you told him not to send it to anyone because you sent it to him and you don't want it to get around? That's the only thing I could piece together, I swear. I'm crazy with my rich ass, we not the same, that's big facts. This pussy should be gift wrapped. The crazy part I can definitely agree with, and the not the same, oh, we're definitely not, and I'm 150,000% okay with that. And then that last line, this pussy should be gift wrapped, I got nothing. Ain't no man ever said I'm not his type. Bitch, I'm piped pussy tight. This video is certainly going to get demonetized. And by the way, ain't no man ever said that he's not your type. Well, they're lying. I, for one, not your type. Not your type. Never, never, never. P.S. Bitch, I'm piped pussy tight? Jesus fucking Christ. Again, the lack of subtlety is alarming. Make him lick it, for he stick it in, since he hungry like a hippo. Well, my favorite childhood game has officially been ruined. Thanks, Iggy. Your face like a litter box. I put the pussy right on it. I laughed hysterically for like a solid 2 minutes the first time I heard this line. I paused it. That is so disgusting. I know that this track is meant to be like a joke song or whatever, but it doesn't matter because there's no self-awareness that presents itself at any point on Just Wanna, which is probably easily the worst song on this project, and that's saying something. Yo man wanna eat it, give me head just like a beanie. To cap it all off, on the final song on the album, Pussy Pop, she raps that little ditty, and apparently there was supposed to be a song called I Know that was more motivating and uplifting, but Iggy wanted to make the album cohesive, which, God did she ever, it's so one-noted that I could scream, but she took I Know off and added Pussy Pop, where we get to hear her say Pussy Pop about 70 times before getting to this line, yo man wanna eat it, give me head just like a beanie. Well, that makes me just never want to wear a beanie again because that sounds like something a fucking third grader would have written. Come on, you didn't try at all with the lyrics on this album. If it hasn't become increasingly aware as this review has gone on, I loathe this record with everything in me. I expected something bad, but I didn't know that it would just be on par with how awful Survive the Summer was. As far as my rating goes, for In My Defense by the Australian rapper Iggy Azalea, I'm giving this a 0.5. That's right, a half star out of 5. And that's being generous, and it's mainly for the production. Jay White, you can do a whole lot better, buddy. Well, what a note to end on, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop a like on this video and keep in mind that it's all just my opinion, but my God, I just didn't expect this. I didn't expect this level of awful, especially after not thinking that the new classic was that bad. Anyways, check out a couple of recent videos here, socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.